But some credit unions and banks are saying that the program lacks clear guidelines. In an interview with The Hill, president and CEO of the Credit Union National Association, Jim Nussle, he said the guidance was released just hours before this program is set to begin, and there are still a number of unanswered questions which will very likely complicate quick fulfillment of these critical loans.
Well, guess what? Here to talk about the SBA's Paycheck Protection Program is Jim Nussle himself, the man. Jim, thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Sean and Lindsay.
Well, you've seen it all, by the way. You were congressman from Iowa, chairman of the House Budget Committee, director of the White House Office of Management Budget, and now you're seeing it from the outside as the president and CEO of the Credit Union Association. You raised some serious concerns about how this program was going to be implemented. A couple weeks in, what do you think about how that implementation has gone?
Well, it's been awkward and it's been bumpy, and we should expect that. I think part of the reason I raised the concerns was not to complain and certainly not to say it's the wrong program. It's exactly the right kind of thing to do to make sure that people know that their jobs are secure and businesses can stand right back up again after the virus. It was just a way to say, be patient. It takes a while to get $350 billion out the front door. And even before the first week is done, today, as you probably saw, Mitch McConnell and Chuck Schumer are on the Senate floor talking about how they need another $200 billion to get out the back door. So this is going to take a while. Our lenders are doing the best they can. They want to provide as much assistance as they can, but it does take a while to get that kind of money out of the street.
You know, Jim, a lot of the big banks saying that they're overloaded, and even we saw Wells Fargo saying they're not taking more loans. Does this put additional pressure on credit unions, or is this an opportunity for them?
Well, we see it both as a challenge, but also as an opportunity. The challenge is that credit unions, their history was built to be a consumer lender and a consumer banking opportunity. So real people were going to them in small towns and cities across the country. And it was only recently that small businesses started coming to credit unions as well. We've got about 500 SBA accredited credit unions that are working on this plan. But we also see it as an opportunity to serve communities and advance communities that have really had a tough time, not only during Corona, but also before. Many that were having a difficult time, even during a good economy, to create jobs and to make sure that Main Street was still vibrant.
What's the difference between what you guys can do in a bank, or is there any right now?
There's really no difference. We're insured the same. You can open a checking account, a savings account, get a credit card. You can get a small dollar loan. You can get a business loan. So all of the same kinds of things. The difference is that at a credit union, you own the place. It's a cooperative. It's a financial cooperative, and it's written under the 501c laws of our tax code. And as a result, you own the business, you own the cooperative, and it's a not-for-profit institution as a result. So there's no shareholders. The money doesn't go out of town. It stays right there in the pockets of the people that own the business.
Can I just ask, does that present a challenge, though? If you're a small business and you want to right now need help, is that credit union more limited than, say, a big bank in what they can do to help you? Or are you guys going to get overwhelmed at some point if you have a lot of small businesses that do business at one particular credit union?
Sure. Well, first of all, no one was prepared for this, so being overwhelmed is part of, I think, just being alive today for any business. But we are ready, mostly because we knew our members, as we call them, much better than a lot of the bigger banks do. We're usually, because we're so much smaller, and we usually have known people as consumers as they started maybe a small business from a hobby or small business at their kitchen table or in their garage or basement. We've kind of grown up with them, and so now coming back as part of this SBA loan and be able to help them is really an opportunity to just expand a relationship that's been building over time.
That's great. You know, Jim, as so much is unknown about the coronavirus and when the economy will actually be able to fully reopen, is there any concern on your part that you will be in trouble or credit unions will be in trouble if this continues down the line?
You know, so we were one of the institutions that did not have the same challenges as the banks did the last time when we had the economic downturn. This is not yet a credit credit challenge. It could develop that way, no question about it. Right now, the economy has been chloroformed. It's been put in a coma, if you will, for a period of time. And what we're trying to do is make sure it's getting the blood and the oxygen and the nutrients so that when coronavirus is out of the system, it can come right back up to life as quickly as possible. That's the theory. I think it's a good one, and I think it's one that certainly credit unions embrace and are ready to try and help support.
Jim, thank you, and thanks everything that the credit unions are doing to help keep a lot of these small businesses afloat in this very troubling time.
It's our pleasure. Thank you.
You bet.